It was quite a bumpy road up until this day. We're having a record amount of IPOs almost on this week. How do you feel the process went for you?
Listen, today's a great day. This company's almost 84 years old, and it's coming public again. And it's truly because we've transformed the business in the past 5 years. We really worked on improving the brand, really working on the culture, and even more fundamentally than the business model, which we changed so we can actually, focus on the authenticity of donuts, doing them fresh from our theater shops, and then bringing them to the customers wherever they are. So that's what we've been focusing on, and just that discipline over the past 5 years has helped us to double the revenue and double the EBITDA. But as you talked about the public markets, what's there, when we started talking with investors and they saw the growth that we've been having, which is pretty significant when you double your EBITDA and double the revenue, we came into this company 5 years ago and bought a little north of $1 billion. And even prior to today, we almost had grown the value of the company to 3 times. So the investors that we talked to, they really love the journey that we've been on. And we're really into doing the journey that's in front of us. We have a significant growth in the U.S. and significant growth overseas. And that's really what I'm focused on all the time.
Let's talk about that growth. Some of the analyst notes that we're reading is talking about the decision to acquire a lot of the franchisees. That gives you a lot more control, as well as some global distribution points as well. How much of that will be your focus going forward?
So that whole brand experience, if you think about it, in the U.S., it used to be a franchisee, franchisor business model, mostly with small franchisees with 1 or 2 shops in a metro market. So we changed the model because we needed, that's where the donuts were being produced. So to really run the brand model, we took control of these hot light shops. There's only 400 in the world. We love that. You get that specialty hot light and glazed theater that you see all the time. And then it's really then building this omni-channel approach. So you're building points of access to where customers are, not necessarily donut shops. So that's fundamentally different. And we did that not just in the U.S., where today we control about 85% of the market. We also bought 6 countries in the globe. So that gave us just another perspective where the omni-channel was already working there, and we just transformed it and learned from them and really built the discipline so we can actually grow, not just in the U.S., but overseas as well.
You mentioned, Michael, where your customers are, and one place where a lot of people haven't been over the last year and change is in their cars commuting and going into the office, of course, because of the pandemic. And as a result, breakfast as a segment has really struggled. What is the demand recovery looking like to you right now as the economy reopens?
So it's interesting. We're an occasional sweet treat brand, so people tend to use us 2.5 times a year, and we've grown that by 20%, focusing on occasions. And occasions where we do share dozens, and people connect about sharing the donuts as well. The morning day part, as you can imagine, across the world, as folks were not coming to work, just opened, it shifted the day part to later in the day. Some countries, actually, the business is always a dessert, right? So the dozens are a dessert in those countries. In the U.S., it tends to be pretty much even throughout the day. But as the people come in and start coming into the business in the morning, they like to be the office hero and pick up that dozens because they, our business is shared, right? So that's what we really love about what we do in Krispy Kreme. It's those occasions that people focus on. So we see, again, growth opportunity there as well.
Michael, you talk about the geographical growth story that you can have. Talk to me. I was just on a donut tour of New York, and I got to go to 4 artisans that, it's really such a focus point, not only here in New York, but also in London. Where is your competition coming from? Is it coming from supermarkets that make their own brands? Is it just the obvious Dunkin', or is it people who are making it themselves? Or do you not really worry about competition?
So think about it. It's a great question. We're a global brand, right? So it's not opening up in any country. We actually are in 30 countries. We're pretty unique because those 400 hot light shops, they're special, right? You get to see the donut theater in front of you. You get to see the hot light. You can have a hot donut as well as you can get the glaze. And then it's really about getting the access to the customer So that's something else that's pretty unique in an omni-channel model. There's something, the magnetism of Krispy Kreme is like any other brand I've seen, right? So we do a lot of acts of joys, but when we focus on donuts, we cut through a lot of clutter on social media, and people want to engage with what we're doing. But I think the piece that really unlocked us from at least the thinking about how we grow over the last 5 years is we're an accessible price point in a shared occasion that people use to gift as well. So we actually sometimes compete against the flower business for Mother's Day when you focus on that occasion, right? And you start to think about what you can do with delivery and e-commerce. It's a very different model, even beyond just the what normally people would see in food. But we do, actually deliver our donuts fresh into the wholesale channel as well.
Michael, we sit here on set with someone who's never eaten a donut in her life. Kaylee Lines is an extraordinary individual. If she had to eat any Krispy Kreme donut right now, which flavor would it be?
Oh my goodness, it's the original glaze. It's 84 years. It's been doing that. It's amazing. Have it hot. Visit the flagship shop in New York. I might, by the way, I might be there. I'll be there. I might serve you, okay? So let's try that one.
There's a deal. There's a deal.
All right, let's do that.